Hello and welcome back to Warsword Conquest, and we're already embroiled in a battle here with the wonderful, wonderful red haze that we have on our screen. That's just something that we're going to have to live with for the moment. Otherwise, we're currently in this battle against Sigvald the something or other. He's just some barbarian, blonde-looking fellow, and yeah, he absolutely... he had some pretty large amounts of troops, actually. Very, very surprised to see that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because we are in a situation right now where we can significantly weaken Chaos and then go straight on in to Mount VANIR. And if we can go in there, you know what's going to happen. That's going to be an exceptionally powerful capture for us to make. If we can do that, then we have an even greater stepping stone to the next phase of our plan, which is obviously to attempt to eliminate the entirety of Chaos, because Kislev is done. They are completely out of here. They were eliminated in the previous episode, and we don't have to worry about them anymore, which I am infinitely pleased about, because let's face it, they're annoying. Oh yeah, the Ice Witches are annoying. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, apart from that, we also have the ability to go into a siege in the Bay of Blades, town as well. But the problem with that is that I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go. So this guy, obviously, as you can tell right here, he does not like us one bit. So I'm going to continue taking him prisoner, even if, it just doesn't make sense for me to take him prisoner, because even if he decides to come to us, which I highly doubt, but even if he were to decide that, yeah, I don't think he would, but, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. So, otherwise, 2,000, not really necessary for me to take that either, but I'm going to do it. As you can see, I actually spammed 3 healing potions in that particular fight. I did take a lot of damage, and that's obviously something that we want to try and avoid as much as possible, but unfortunately that is just a necessity sometimes. Anyway, let's go in and besiege this. This is going to be a pretty difficult one because they do have a lot of troops. What do we have here? You're approached by a dwarf in a dark cloak who tells you that he is the owner of these lands and that you must pay a toll of 500 gold for passing through. Your troops laugh at the figure, who responds by telling you that moves of violence will only bring you pain and that it would be wise to pay him. What do? Enough with this fool, kill him. Lose 1 power strike permanently? Okay. Yes, indeed. I did lose 1 point in power strike. I don't know. Okay. Okay. That I'm not sure. I don't think I really appreciate that, to be honest. I feel like, okay, this is my opinion on permanent stat decreases. Usually I'm not in favor of this because it inherently makes it I mean, obviously, that's an event that I've never seen before, so I had no idea what was going to happen. But the thing is, if we were to, I have no idea where to place my people either, by the way, because it feels like we can't even place them anywhere, to be honest, at this point. Anyway, the point is, the fact that we lose a stat permanently is actually a very painful one at this point in the game, because obviously, as I've said before, we have such a small amount of ability to level now, because we are at this point in time. We are at this level. It is extremely unlikely that we're going to be able to level up any further that fast, that is. We are going to level up, of course, but it's going to take us a lot longer to level now than it used to. And so, it's going to be a lot more difficult for us to gain those stats back. If I was losing Power Strike at a very, very early stage, like if I got that event when I was level 6 or whatever, I'd be thinking to myself, oh yeah, okay, that's absolutely fine, I don't have a problem with that. But if that event hits you when you're my level, level 40 or above or somewhere around there, you don't really want that kind of thing. You don't really want that kind of thing. I personally feel like that is maybe a bit too harsh. I don't know. Is it just me? Is it just me that doesn't like that? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. Because ever since... let me see here. What was the other mod that actually used to do that? I think... A Clash of Kings. A Clash of Kings used to do that a long time ago. I used to play that, and there were certain events that you would basically just avoid, just completely, just avoid them. Like the plague, basically. You would try to just take the most passive, most unfun option possible, because, I mean, let's face it, sometimes it's fun to actually take these risky options, right? However, when you learn that a Clash of Kings has these, you know, permanent stat decreases, you basically just go, you know what, I'm not going to even bother taking the chance. Because any upside that you get is fundamentally countered by such a significant penalty. And that's obviously what we're seeing here. So, yeah, that's, I don't know. I'm not a terribly big fan about that. Not a terribly big fan, I gotta say. But yeah, by the way, these are our dual-wielding axes here. As you can see, I'm actually attacking with both weapons right now. I'm alternating between attacks right here. Someone actually said, I don't know why you would say this, considering, I mean, I guess you haven't seen the other episodes of the series, but I have actually been talking quite at length about dual-wielding weapons. And some people actually told me a long time ago, I don't even know what episode it was now, but someone said that you don't need two axes. You know, you don't need two sets of weapons to be able to make dual wield work. And I tested it out, you know, myself, and yes, indeed, you don't need two sets of axes. So yeah, someone was really annoyed at that for some reason, because I didn't purchase two sets of axes or whatever. So sorry about that, but you don't actually need them. You don't need two sets. So yeah, it's actually good, because I obviously initially thought that you needed them because that's what someone said. And then some other people later on said that I don't need two sets, and then I tried it out, and indeed, we don't. So it's great. It's very nice indeed. But yeah, you can see here that I'm actually using my dual wielding weapons and actually not doing too badly. I'm actually quite surprised that this is so effective. Quite weird about that. But what I am actually going to try to do is I'm going to try to earn enough money to be able to purchase the Skaven Blades. If I can purchase the Skaven Blades from... is it Marcus? I'm not entirely sure who it is now, but if I can purchase that, we are going to be doing very well, because those Skaven Blades are absolutely amazing. They have really good damage as far as I'm aware, and a variety of other very, very good stats. So very much looking forward to that. You can see here that the axes are actually pretty difficult to use, and they actually swing pretty slowly, funnily enough, most of the time, unless we are in Blood Frenzy, of course. And yeah, this is very interesting actually, because I do have 8 in Power Strike. I actually kind of thought that this would be enough to get us the you know, to get us the really, really good attack speed, because, you know, attack speed scales in dual wield with Weapon Master, right? So the more Weapon Master you have, the better, and for some reason I don't actually have that. How many have we lost so far? We literally lost 130. Really? Wow. Okay. How did I lose 139 troops? 139. I'm now being shot at by all of these people. Can I actually get up there somehow? I'm gonna assume I need to go this way or all the way around. Yep, seems like I will have to go all the way around. You see that javelin sticking in our horn right there? That's hilarious. Yeah, so that was very surprising. I actually had no idea that we had lost so many troops. I guess that just, you know, goes to show when you don't have the ability to see the text log, because obviously you're killing so many enemies, it kind of makes things a bit difficult, doesn't it? Yeah, it definitely does. Anyway, these guys are obviously just going to die before us. I would like to very much see... How do I get around there? This seems kind of weird, doesn't it? How do I get up there and kill the enemy casters? Alright, it seems like I've actually found the place where we need to go to get up there. It's actually quite easy to find, which is very, very surprising. I was actually thinking to myself, I'm going to have some huge issues doing that. Now, the main reason why I'm actually coming up here to do this is because I was getting shot so much that my my character was just consistently getting staggered over and over again. And I want to try to avoid that if I can. Funnily enough, I'm not entirely sure how they have so much ammunition. I have literally been shot by these people for I don't even know how long, about 10 minutes or something, and they still seem to have significant amounts of ammo for unknown reasons. I have no idea why. But if I can just manage to eliminate the rest here, then we shouldn't have to worry about them in the least any further, which is obviously going to be great. And you know what I really wish right now? I wish I had some way of dealing massive damage in an AoE situation. You know what I mean? Kind of wish I had some kind of like fire magic or something like that and just do a, I don't know, fireball or something. You know, that would have been really, really nice right now, but yes, we'll have to do things the old-fashioned way. Oh, here come my bloodletters as we attempt to eliminate the last handful of enemy troops. Now, this is... I gotta say, I'm actually really, really shocked. When I saw the 139 deaths on our side, I thought, wow, okay. I don't even know how that happened. I mean, I do, because clearly this is a fantastic layout for ranged troops, because all they have to do is just stand up here on this ledge, and enemies will come in over here. And then obviously, as you can see, because there's only one ladder, most of the time their backs are going to be facing towards the ranged troops, and that is going to basically just have them die, you know? They are the weakest possible thing that can actually happen right there. They literally are facing their shields away from where the damage is coming from. And so that's what's going to happen. But I am still exceptionally just blown away, actually, by how incredible that actually was, because I was thinking to myself, okay, well, my forces are not really having the greatest time right now, but I'm sure we'll be fine. That was my thought process. And then as soon as I saw that, you know, 139 of them had been killed, I just go, whoa, okay, really? How many of those are actually really, really good units? Well, a massive amount of them, no doubt. As you can see, we lost so many really, really good people. We lost Cornate Knights, we lost Plague Bearers, and, well, Ogre Gorges, all that was great stuff, which would have been fantastic to keep. However, we do now have the ability to get... Oh, yeah, a bunch of actually pretty good units to replace them, which is actually not too bad. Obviously, these guys, I actually checked the garrison beforehand just because I wanted to make sure that we weren't running into anything particularly bad and or doing a siege that is not worth it. But they had over 300 prisoners here, which is extremely nice. So we're just going to rescue all of those. As you can see, very nice. And one thing I do want to do is I want to get rid of the sneaky gits for the moment. And we're also going to be getting rid of the Kislev here as well. And the Hobgoblins and the Kislev Sergeants as well. Because I kind of want to... I just want to make sure that we're taking everyone that we can here that is actually going to be relatively decent for us. So I'm going to take some more Chaos Zealots here as well. Yeah, this is... wait. Hobgoblins. More Hobgoblins can go away. Half-Horn Raiders. They technically level up into Beastmen, so I guess that's good. Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, they can also be swapped out. Obsidian Guards are fine. These guys are not. Let's get those out of there. Alright, yeah, so this is looking fine, I believe. Right? Yes. Yes, I think so. Alright, so Yeah, so obviously I did check the garrison, and I saw that there were over 300 prisoners, and that's the reason why I decided, you know what, even if we do end up losing huge amounts of troops, which I apparently jinxed myself or whatever, because yeah, I certainly wasn't expecting to lose this many, but there you have it. We were actually able to take this. I am going to be having Mount VANIR for myself, because this is literally my town, you know. This is the capital of the Chaos faction, and it kind of makes sense. So all these rescued prisoners are going to be going into the garrison here, which is obviously wonderful, and we can also manage the town as well. So if I want to, I can build this. It's going to take 69 days because obviously Galthak is not currently available for any kind of attack. Shall we say for any kind of action here, because he is still injured massively, so of course he's not really going to be there. However, what would be very cool is if I could go in. Someone actually asked me to go into the corn trials, and I don't mind. But yeah, we've actually spilled 69,000 pints of blood now, which is hilarious. So yeah, we're going to go in here, and I'll just show you what's actually going on, because I highly doubt I'm actually even going to be able to do this, especially considering I now have the ball and chain weapon. So who knows? Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it with the axe. The dual wielding axes. I mean, we've got demon princes here, which is, yeah, as you can quite clearly tell, absolutely impossible. And it's funny because once again, I am playing on the highest difficulty, right? Because technically, if you play on I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure if that's actually still the case, but apparently, basically how it went was if you are playing on a lower damage modifier beforehand, they would spawn more troops. They would spawn more enemies into the trials. But now I believe that has been normalized. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on it. But I believe that's been normalized. So it's basically forcing you to have 100% damage modifier. But we have actually found the Cult Master right here, which is obviously fantastic. So let's actually just trade these guys away. And funnily enough, we also have some additional Chaos Zealots as well. So as you can see, I actually just got 67 Cornate Marauder Tribesmen. We're just going to put those in there, and we're just going to take out the other Chaos Zealots, because we might as well trade for them, right? Because the Cult Master is here right now, we might as well take advantage of it. And there is actually a Chaos Companion over there, which I'm not actually that interested in, so I'm just going to leave him for the moment. And we got some Cornate Marauders, actually not too bad. Okay, yeah, so those guys are obviously going to level up over time, and now this is exactly what we're facing right here. So obviously Stromstad, I need to take that back. However, oh, hello. Another one of these, eh? Yeah, you know what? I should probably just stay in Mount VANIR for the moment, because my forces are so incredibly injured. Alright, so I'm taking these javelins like candy here, and I gotta say, I'm not that big fan of it, you know, don't really like that so much, but there you go. Anyway, you know, I kind of wish I could see all the arrows sticking in me right now, but obviously that doesn't actually work, because there are just too many, and the model doesn't support that, I assume. But if this was a shield, I'd basically look like a porcupine right here. Am I gonna actually die? Oh wow, yeah, I can't even take my potion and actually heal myself for full here, because I am envenomed. This is... I feel like this is impossible, actually. I feel like maybe I'm not even gonna be able to do this. You know what? I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna run down here. I'm just gonna retreat. And that's it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of here. This is actually unheard of for me right now, okay? We're gonna use some strategy here, alright? Okay, so what are we gonna do? Are we gonna be an absolute idiot, or are we gonna be smart about things? Okay, I think we're gonna be smart about it, right? So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to place loads of units into my garrison here, because obviously I'm the leader of our faction, so we don't really need to worry about this. And I think you can kind of, you're probably going to be able to guess what I'm attempting to do here. So hopefully you will be able to. If you can't, then that's absolutely fine. You're going to find out in a few moments anyway, and that's not really going to be a big deal. So we're going to see how this goes. If this works, then this is obviously going to be fantastic. If it doesn't, then, well, then I'm just going to be, well, not best pleased, but, you know, I'm going to be happy enough anyway. Because maybe we can make it work some other way, but from what I'm seeing right there with that current situation, I feel like I'm never going to get in there in a million years. I feel like my forces are going to die again, like we had happen at Mount VANIR as well. I feel like it is going to be almost impossible. So that's a thing that we're going to have to be very, very aware of here. Okay, so we got 35 troops. That's not good enough. Oh dear. That is not good enough. Okay, well, whatever the case, it's gonna have to do, okay? It is gonna have to do. That is literally all I can really say about that. We're gonna go, actually, wait a minute. I do need to do one thing. We need to manage the town. Let's do the War Academy right here. It's still gonna take 49 days. Are you joking, Galthak? Are you joking, really? Alright, well, yeah, it's still gonna take 49 days, apparently. Okay, so this guy obviously wants to fight me. I only have 35 troops. But the main reason why we're doing this is for a very specific reason. Hopefully I'm not going to get attacked by some other random thing. You know, like a patrol or whatever. That would be super annoying. Hopefully they're not going to attack me. But this is very, very important to do, okay? This is super, super important to do. Hopefully, I don't think I've even regenerated my HP or anything like that, but does that matter? I'm not entirely sure. Probably not. Oh, hello. Are you actually attacking me with a significant force? Yes, you are. You have 179. You absolute imbecile. I am not a big fan of this guy right now. But, you know, I can't really do much about it. I basically should have just gone straight on in, but I was worried about my HP level. But I guess I shouldn't have been, because technically what I could do is... just take a healing potion, I guess. Just take a healing potion or something like that. So, yeah, anyway... I've got my ball and chain. I'm going to have to do this basically solo. So let's see how this actually works. I'm just going to move my forces all the way to the edge of the battlefield. I want them to be as far away from the enemy as possible, and hopefully this is going to work out. They've got a Nurgle Chaos Sorcerer as well, which obviously is making things very annoying, because enemy troops are gaining Ignore Pain. Most of them should already have Ignore Pain, to be honest, but, you know, it doesn't really matter either way. So basically what I'm going to try to do here is I will just try to get into Blood Frenzy, and then I will immediately tell my forces to hold position. There we go. Tell my forces to hold position right here. And these Bloodletters can just act as kind of like intermediaries, damage absorbers, you know, a little bit of distraction here and there. I don't really mind. And basically all I want to do is just try to keep ahead of the curve, as it were. And, well, we're going to have to be a little bit careful here as well, because these guys actually hit hard. You know, they hit even they hit through the Ignore Pain quite dramatically. Whoa! Okay, we're dead. Wow, we're dead. Okay, that was actually really, really not so good. Okay, so that strategy apparently is not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to reveal what the strategy is, if you didn't already guess. Basically what I was trying to do was have an overwhelming amount of ranged troops in my party, and obviously because we have so few ranged troops, that's the reason why I'm running with so many forces placed in the garrison. You know, yeah, because otherwise we're just going to be running around with a load of infantry, and that's really not going to help us out at all. So let's actually see if I can maybe take this. Ah, yeah, we should probably be able to take this relatively simply. I'm at 24% HP, barely have enough time to take a potion. Let's actually see whether Galthak can help us out here by actually, you know, constructing this relatively fast. Can he actually construct this fast, please? Why is he taking so long? Why does it actually take so long for him to make these? Because he technically should be able to do this really, really simply, but as you can see, they are now sallying out. This is the entire reason for this. I will take a healing potion right here, and I'm just going to place my forces all the way back at the start. And I'm just going to deal with these enemies, because there's only 126. I should be able to do this. Hopefully. Oh, nice damage from our Chaos Dwarf Infernos right here. Very good. Okay. Oh, and now we're getting... Yes. And now we're getting absolutely murdered because this guy apparently is a Tzeentch follower, which really makes things very, very uncomfortable for us. Yeah, if I'd known that there was actually a vassal in here, I didn't even realize that. I think there were two, actually. Never mind. I think there were two, but not entirely sure what I could have done about that. Because if I see that he's here, what am I supposed to do, right? Okay, let me see here. Can I actually... Why are they just firing at us instead of just firing at at me? I guess they just want to really badly eliminate these guys. Not great. Okay, they're all dead. That's great. Wonderful. Okay, so obviously this is basically done. We are already in possession of our old town, which is great. And then I can actually defer appointment of a lord once again, or I can give it to someone. Either way, doesn't really matter. And who knows, maybe we can actually make something work with that. I'd love to actually see if they're going to remove the red haze on the screen, actually, because I feel like it is quite annoying. But anyway, there you go. Done. See, now that was the strategy that I was actually going to attempt to use in the previous siege. Because you can see here, look at how easy that was. They're going to sally out once again, which is really not that big a deal because there's only 49 of them this time in comparison to 126 the first time. So this is the entire strategy here. Obviously, we've used the strategy in the past, most notably with our Skaven series as well as with our Orc series, and it works very, very nicely. In the words of the legendary Todd Howard, it just works. However, does it really? I don't know. You're going to need a huge modding team and a huge modding community to be able to actually fix any of the problems, but he knows more about that than I do, to be honest. But yes, you know, that's just how it goes, you know, that's just how it goes. Anyway, if I can just focus on the caster, yep, get him dead. There we go, thank you very much. All things considered, Starfield, I've got to say, a bit disappointing. I didn't play it, but apparently people were disappointed with it. And most recently, someone has actually gone to the trouble of modding it so dramatically that it actually looks like an open world Star Wars bounty hunter kind of game now, which looks very interesting, I think. Don't you think? I think that looks very interesting, at least. Anyway, let's just see. Okay, they're all going to leave. That's fine. I am not actually going to be taking anyone here. I'm just going to be letting them go into the garrison, and that's all that I really need. I will take all of this stuff because that's going to sell for a pretty significant amount. Pretty happy with that. And then we can just leave, and I'm going to give this to Thrud, I think. There we go. I'm just going to do that. There we go. All right, so let's just sell this stuff. Don't need it, of course. Buy all the food. We need to make sure that we remember to buy food. That's an extremely important thing. I always forget to do that. And I just got to say thank you to those people that actually do tell me to remember to buy food. Very, very important. And that's certainly something that I need to remember to do. Because if I don't do that, and we are ending up losing a huge amount of battles, because that can happen very easily, as you've seen, you know. If that happens, then we are going to need the morale to be excellent. Because that's the whole point, you know. If we have good food, then the morale is going to stay at a high value anyway. So yeah, as you can see right here, look at this. Look at what we got going on here. We've just got one castle and one town. This is going to be extremely difficult to do unless we can force the enemy to sally out, which is exactly the strategy that I'm going to try to employ in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.